It's week number 8 of the F1 Clash Community Championship, with Alfa Romeo currently in the lead, looking for that final push to take P1 outright. We've got the F1 Team Series event Aston Martin this week, with Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll all 10% boosted. Let's run you through what we're running. We're running level 6 Alonso with Zhou Guanyu for that qualifying stat. And the car is looking pretty decent as well, with free flare just to upgrade ever so slightly too. What tracks have we got to come? And make sure you let me know down below how you're getting on with your qualifying. Make sure you like the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Race day, qualifying, it's Wednesday. What have we got? Melbourne with a chance of rain. We've got Montreal with a chance of rain as well. Sao Paulo and Baku to round out the 4 races, which should be very interesting indeed. So let's enter up into champs. Let's have a look at what we get. And first of all, we need some coins. So let's take a look at what sort of score we can put in using 10% Alonso for the first time as well. Let's see where he qualifies. Looking forward to his race start ability as well. It's very high, which is nice to see. P12, P14 for Fernando. And we have got a wet start. That's what we like to see. So we're going to go on to there. And I'm going to use a Merlion or Tune-In. Probably go Tune-In on Alonso. Should get a good start anyway. Zhou Guanyu needs a good start, so that's why we're going to use Herald. And in the wet, we should get a good race. So lights out. We know Zhou Guanyu's not the best at race starts. We know Alonso should come back, and there he does. Round the outside into P8. Now, if you haven't raced this before in the wet, you should have. In Champions GP, most of the field pit lap 5, the front half, and the second half pit on lap 4. So that means we've got to get Zhou Guanyu into a decent lead. He's had a really bad start, currently sitting P15. So terrible start for Zhou Guanyu. And we're going to try and get him a few places back if we can. Alonso and Zhou Guanyu coming round. Definitely need another 3 or 4 positions to try and make up. And Zhou Guanyu looks like he might struggle a bit in this race. We've took P13 though. And that's our downside to not using old Lance Stroll. We don't have him at the minute. But we're into P5. And we're going to try and just earn some power unit back. Can we get Ocon? We can. Good move. P5, P12. We're now behind Perez. We're going to try and boost past again. We can do that as well. Can we get past Stroll? Zhou Guanyu on the move. Alonso right behind Verstappen as well. And we try and build Zhou Guanyu a lot closer. We're going to boost Alonso now. Let's push Zhou Guanyu. P4 for Alonso. Is there a move round Norris? Yes, there is. Easy. And we've got Alonso into P3. I'm not sure what lap the rival's going to pit with the AI, but we're going to try and push past into P8, and we do get that. So we're making real ground now. And we've got wet. Well, I haven't even looked at the weather. It's getting pretty... It's getting drier all the time. And I'm going to have to go to mediums. And hope. And there's a good chance on the look. We're going to be pretty slow. That's my worry here. But we can't risk it anymore. We've got to go. And go we shall. Out we come. This is not really great for our strategy, because all the AI are going to go around and do an extra lap in the wet, on wet tyres. We're just going to have to use all our power unit. And you can see how slow we are. But we were left with no choice. Which is a very, very frustrating start. Alonso moving backwards. Remember, he was P5. And we're still at 40%. And this is not good. And we can move back up to P6. Zhou Guanyu P9. Is there a move past Carlos Sainz? Not quite. So, tricky weather conditions. Alonso's making light work of that back into P5. Zhou Guanyu all the time, just edging a bit closer. What we got ahead? Mediums for everybody now. We try and hold off Sainz, but it was too late. Try and hold off Norris. We can do. P5, P8. We've really got unlucky with this weather. We've got good tyres. We've got P4. They're quite far ahead. It's going to be tricky to catch these up. Effectively anyway. You can see the Aston Martin in front of us now. We're going to try and close that gap. Just to help us for a few more points. And Zhou Guanyu comes around. Alonso's into P4. Zhou Guanyu trying to catch his Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. And he's right behind him now. Is he going to get him? Don't think he is. We're going to have one more push round these corners. And Alonso's going to come home P4 with Zhou Guanyu managing to get up to P7. And that is the best with the weather. We needed it to stay wet. It didn't. But we have to take 39 points from race number 1 into the race number 2. Race 2 sees us at Canada. Another tricky track with some rain chance as well. Will we be unlucky with the weather or will it be in our favour? It's a dry qualifying for now. And we're going to see where we qualify. P12, P13 seems the places will be. We've got some wet weather coming in by the look of it. So we're going to use Herald. And I'm going to go for a medium on Alonso because of the rain. I would like to go soft with Alonso. And 5 minutes kind of backfired. But let's see if we can get off to a good start. Zhou Guanyu gets a better start. He's on a good start this time. And you'll see, can he gain any positions? We can't gain many positions off the start. P11, P13. Just making the odd position as we move forward. Both of them pushing each other along all the time. P9, P12 is where we're at. We get squeezed. We're going to leave one boosting into the hairpin, and that's a good move by Charles Leclerc. Zhou Guanyu is currently sitting P11. Not good for Zhou Guanyu, just doesn't seem to be performing very well at the moment. And then finally he's into P10. P6, P9 now. P5, making ground all the time. Can we get one more? That would be nice. What about 2? Alonso takes it, and so does Zhou Guanyu. P3 and P7 with a bit of lag in this game as well. Hopefully we don't disconnect, but Zhou Guanyu's up to P6. Make it P5. Man on a mission, Zhou Guanyu. Can he get P4 as well? Can he? Just lag ahead, Zhou Guanyu. That's all we need. And there we go. Zhou Guanyu into P4. Can we survive the lag? We had some server issues before we came onto the game. So hopefully we can outlast these. Alonso P2. Zhou Guanyu coming out. P14. Can't get ahead of Alpine. Needs to get ahead of this traffic though. Does slightly. Slightly not. But it's P2 for Alonso. Getting pretty bad now. With this lag. And it is P12. Zhou Guanyu. Alonso coming down the home straight. Halfway through. Can we survive it? We are hoping and praying we can. Look at that. Russell just goes through us. And this is actually getting really bad now. Hopefully we can control what we're doing. It doesn't look like we can though. They're just not going as we like. And Zhou Guanyu can't get past Carlos Sainz. Can he now? Yes, he can. Just seems terrible. Terrible at the minute. You've got some hard tyres ahead of us pitting next lap. And we've got ourselves coming in as well. As we nearly get Gasly. So yeah, sorry about the lag. Nothing I can do about this at all. But we are trying to close down the Red Bull. We're trying to get past Gasly as well. Gasly being a pain, hits us on the back, but we get ahead. P8 with a pit stop. We've got Alonso in P2. Chasing down Lance Stroll. Zhou Guanyu still can't get ahead of Gasly. We took no servicing and they were still faster. Not really sure what's going on in this game. But it's not fun at the minute. Gasly ahead. Can we get through? It's been a real struggle and we took 2 cars there. Zhou Guanyu taking some action back. No one really pitting. Zhou Guanyu's the letdown today, folks. Really struggled with him. Can boost all the way. Too late though, should have been boosting earlier. As we get into the top 10. Alonso's going to finish in P1. He does manage to rescue it. So jolty. Is there any more positions? Oh, I don't think so. I think Zhou Guanyu's only going to get P10. No, just P10. Very tricky, laggy race there. And it is just the 39 points. So we arrive at Brazil for race number 3 of the qualifying round. And we've made a small change. We've dropped Zhou Guanyu because of his performances in the first 2 races. And we've replaced him with Yuki Tsunoda. Really bad matchup here though. Look at that. 5 and 6th. And we're pushed to 15th and 17th. Wow. That's killer. So we're going to try our strategy. We're going to put Yuki on to Coppa and Coppa on Alonso. We're going to try and do a 5-4 and a 3-3-3 and see what we can do. But really bad matchup. Alonso and Stroll, good levels for the rival. Almost probably max level, I'd have thought. But we're going to try that race start advantage and see if it helps us. And already, Yuki has made some moves, but not as much as he would have liked to gain. But there's still plenty of time to make them moves. Rival's going to be out in front in no time at this rate. And we're going to come round. Looks like the rival's pushing. Could be a real player as well. And we're going to continue pushing all the way up to this part. And look at that. P8, P9 now. We're going to try and get past Lando Norris. We get 1 car past. We nearly get Max Verstappen as well. Cut down. Rival out P1, P3. And nothing we can do about that as Yuki Tsunoda does the old team orders straight through. And then presents himself with a lovely opportunity round, and so does Alonso. Alonso just on the 5 laps, which is good. That's what we want. And we're behind Max Verstappen already. Trying to look after that power unit. And we will try and just get ourselves past here. And there we go, we are through. P5. Let's come for some servicing actually. Alonso gaining. And we've made some good positions already. This is a better race than Zhou Guanyu was able to put together. You can see Stroll coming out of the pits now. Will remain ahead of him by the look of it. And we do. and Sonoda is out as well. So Sonoda out in P12. Not a lot of power unit though. That's our problem as we make a move on the inside of Max Verstappen. And this rival's gonna, wow, rival holds us up, makes us struggle. And we are going to just try and push past. I don't want to use too much tyre up, but we get past. That's the main thing. Safety car alert. And that's helped Fernando Alonso. And we're going to just come back for mediums. We could go for softs. Let's go for softs. Risky strategy, but we're not going to use too much. Safety car's already on its way round as we come in. And out P7 potentially for Fernando. Will he hold? P8. So out in P8, we've got a good chance. Sonoda P13. Got a lot of hard tyres ahead to pit. Sonoda will rise. Alonso will rise 2 places as well, potentially, although the safety car is already coming out. That first start part of the straight. So we're going to start boosting now. And there we go, we are off already. Can Alonso and Sonoda fight back? And we're stuck behind Ferraris. And I think we've just lost a place to Perez. Somehow. It's absolutely packed here. Is there any room in the inn? I'm not sure we can actually get 4 laps here without pushing too much, but we just can't get past. Now they all come into the pits. Alonso makes his way into P5. I don't know. Well, we will be able to surely get 1 more lap here. What do we got ahead? 8 seconds. It's going to be close, you know. We're not got that much tyre left. We're going to have to really conserve on that last lap as around we come. We're going to run out of tyres, I think, here, unless we start making some moves. Cut down Alonso, cut down Sonoda. Don't think we're going to gain any more, which is why we're cutting down. Might be able to just eke this out. P2 on the mediums. And this is not a bad race in the end. It's a little step in the right direction though. And we're just going to survive on tyres as well. Sonoda crosses the line with pretty much 0. And we do pick up our first points in the 40s. It's 43 points with a safety car in Brazil. The final race of qualifying, Azerbaijan and Baku. Very small chance of the wet stuff at Baku. But at the minute, looking dry, and we want it to stay dry because wet is difficult round here. P12, P15, a slightly better matchup, and oh no, we've got the wet stuff. We're going to go Cuppa and Cuppa. We're going to get decent race start actually, so let's go Merlion. We're running out of time. We need a quick pit stop. It's going to be chaos if this, and it's not going to last long. 1 minute. Is this a quickly changing race, I wonder? And we get a perfect and fast start. Probably unlucky not to get perfect there as Alonso flies up the inside. And already working a bit better with that extra race start on Sonoda. But Alonso into P5. And remember what I said, it's going to be tricky this race. 40 seconds and dry. So we're going to have to manage this. Got to start thinking ahead. Do we go to a 1 stop? Do we go to hards? Do we take softs and go for a 2 stop? This is all the things you got to factor in on your daily F1 Clash GP rounds as we look to push Alonso through past Norris and get Tsunoda as well. We're up to P3. We've got Tsunoda up to P6. And now Alonso into P2. Early on working well in the wet. That's what we like to see. And it's going to start getting dry now. Cloudy, so it's going to take a lap or two to get to that dry conditions. It's only for a minute, but there is dry weather still to come. And we are bang on tyres here as well. So into the middle section, best overtaking part, and we take the lead of the race. P1 for Alonso. Tsunoda, can he get Max? Opens up the inside, through into P5. One more lap then. We can do it, and we'll be out for the dries. Very slow reduction in track dryness. And we definitely look like we're going to be going to the dry stuff. And we can probably start pushing shortly as well. Start pushing now. And we're going to go to mediums. Tsunoda gets past Max Verstappen. Nearly gets past Lando Norris as well. But first stint done, we've managed 4 laps nicely with Alonso. We've got Tsunoda up to P5. Some decent power unit as well. Watch everybody pit on lap number 4 as well, like I've put in my strategy guides. That's what you've got to keep an eye on. Everybody will go to pit. It's absolutely vital. Look at that. Everybody is in. And we race on. Completely dry now. What has everyone else gone? Mediums and hards is the selection. And we've only got 2 cars in our way that separate from 47 points. And we are past Lewis Hamilton. Aston Martin in front. We're going to be strong this weekend with that 10% boost. We're going to now try and close the gap. It's Fernando Alonso who we are after. And it's who we was after. We nearly get him. And then we finally do. Yuki Tsunoda, drafted in race number 3, manages to work his way up to P2 in the leaderboards. Bit of an encouragement there for our Yuki, as Fernando Alonso starts the last lap of qualifying. And hopefully it's a nice easy way to the finish. It's looking good though. That Alfa Romeo livery coming out P1. Things we love to see. With the rival going for them hard tyres. So, as we approach the final few seconds, Fernando Alonso takes victory here in Baku. Yuki Tsunoda not too far behind. It's a perfect 1-2 on the streets of Baku. And we will now be able to see just how many points we've scored in this round. It's been tricky. First 2 races with Zhou was very tough. I think we got 39 points twice, and then 1 in the 40s and 47 to finish. 1571 the team score there for the rival. So let's have a look. Where do we end up? 168 points is our qualifying total. Like we mentioned, 2 lots of 39 to begin with made it very tough going, but we swapped the drivers. And in racers number 3 and 4, we are into the 40s, 43 and 47 to finish. Hope you enjoyed that. Bit of a difficult one with a rain in the first race, lag in the second. But hopefully we finish strongly to build our confidence for the weekend in a push for another podium position.